Descartes was born in 1596 in France. He was very smart and loved to think. He spent many hours alone, thinking about the world and how it worked. He asked big questions: what is real? How do we know what we know? Is there a way to be sure about anything? Descartes is famous for his ideas about thinking and knowledge. He is often called the father of modern philosophy. This is because his ideas changed the way people thought about many things, including science, math, and life itself. But who was Descartes really? And how did he come to ask these big questions? Descartes was born in a small town in France called La Haye. His family was not rich, but they were respected in their community. Descartes' mother died when he was young, and his father sent him to a school for clever children. At school, loved reading and learning new things. But he also enjoyed being alone, sitting quietly and thinking about the world around him. As a boy, Descartes was often sick. He spent a lot of time in bed. During these moments of rest, he would think deeply. He wondered, how do I know what is real? How do I know that the things I see are not dreams? These thoughts stayed with him for a long time. When Descartes grew up, he went to a university in France. He studied many subjects, including math, science, and philosophy. But even though he was learning so much, Descartes still had many questions. He didn't just want to learn what others had already discovered. He wanted to find the answers for himself. One day, Descartes decided to leave France and travel. He traveled to many countries, including the Netherlands and Italy. He spent time meeting with other thinkers and scientists. He learned new things, but he still felt that there was something missing. He knew that the answers to his big questions could only come from deep thinking and careful reflection. In 1619, Descartes had a strange dream that changed his life. He was staying in a small room in a house in the Netherlands. One night, while he was sleeping, he had a very vivid dream. In this dream, Descartes saw many strange and confusing images. But the dream was not just about pictures. It was about ideas. In the dream, Descartes imagined a teacher who told him, "You must find the truth by questioning everything. Question everything and only believe what you can be sure about." Descartes woke up from this dream feeling very confused, but also excited. He knew that this dream was important. It gave him the idea to question everything he had ever learned, to find out what was really true. The next day, Descartes began thinking about his dream. He thought, what can I be sure of? He realized that the one thing he could always be sure of was his own thinking. Even if the world around him was an illusion or a dream, he could still know that he was thinking. And if he was thinking, he must exist. I think, therefore I am, Descartes said to himself. This idea became famous. It means that the very act of thinking proves that you exist. If you can doubt everything else, you can still know that you are a thinking being. This was a new way of thinking that changed the world of philosophy. After his dream, Descartes began to think more deeply about knowledge and how we come to know things. He wondered, how do we know that what we see is real? How do we know that what we hear is true? Descartes believed that to find the truth, we must use our minds carefully. We should not just believe what we are told. We should question everything and think for ourselves. Descartes believed that reason, the power of thinking logically, was the key to understanding the world. He thought that by using reason, we could understand things like math, science, and even the nature of God. But he also realized that not everything in the world could be understood by reason alone. There were mysteries, like life and death, that might be beyond our understanding. One of the things Descartes loved most was math. He believed that math was the key to understanding the world. In fact, he was one of the first people to use numbers to explain things like space and motion. Descartes invented a new way of doing math. He created something called Cartesian coordinates, which is a way of locating points in space using numbers. This idea became very important in geometry and helped scientists understand the world better. Descartes also worked on equations and algebra. He believed that math could help explain the physical world. By studying math, he thought people could discover how things like planets move or how light travels. His ideas about math helped other scientists like Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein understand the universe. In addition to math, Descartes was also interested in science. He wanted to understand how everything in the world worked. He thought that all things, from the smallest pieces of matter to the biggest stars in the sky, could be understood through reason and observation. Descartes believed that science could help people improve their lives. He thought that if people understood the world better, they could make better decisions and solve problems. His ideas helped lead to the development of modern science. Descartes also believed in the importance of experiments. He thought that people should not just think about ideas, but test them in the real world. This idea led to the rise of the scientific method, which is a way of asking questions, testing ideas, and finding answers based on evidence. As Descartes grew older, he continued to think about the big questions of life. He spent many years writing and sharing his ideas with others. He wrote books about philosophy, math, and science. His books were read by many people, and his ideas became very important. Descartes also became interested in the idea of the soul and the body. He believed that the mind and body were connected, but they were also very different. The mind, according to Descartes, was a thinking, non-material thing. The body was made of physical matter. This idea led to many discussions about how the mind and body work together. In 1650, Descartes died in Sweden. He had been invited to Sweden to work for the Queen, but his health was not good. He died of pneumonia at the age of 53. His ideas, however, lived on. Descartes' ideas changed the way people thought about the world. His famous quote, "I think, therefore I am," became one of the most important ideas in philosophy. He showed people the power of reason and the importance of asking questions. His work in math and science helped shape the way we understand the world today. Even though he lived more than 350 years ago, Descartes is still remembered today. Many of his ideas continue to influence the way people think about knowledge, science, and life. Descartes taught us that it is important to think for ourselves, to question what we are told, and to search for truth with our minds. Descartes was a man who spent his life thinking deeply about the world. He questioned everything and searched for truth. His ideas changed the world of philosophy, math, and science. Descartes' dream to find the truth helped him create new ways of thinking that still help us today. His legacy teaches us the importance of reason, logic, and asking big questions. And, just like Descartes, we can all take time to think carefully and search for the truth in our own lives.